How many of you remember a TV show, Get Smart? Hey, glad you joined us. Yeah, if you remember Get Smart, you're not young. If maybe you saw it in syndication later, reruns, but I remember when it was first on. Do you know who was the genius behind that? Mel Brooks, a funny guy. But one of the things, many things I loved about it, but you had two different sort of spy organizations, or whatever you want to call them. You had Control and Chaos. It was spelled with a K, I think, but what hilarious terms, really, if you think about it. The good guys, oh, we're Control. The bad guys, they're Chaos. Which one represents your life? Is it more the chaos or the control? So here's the thing, that in the broken world in which we live, well, Tripp puts it this way. I want to give him a shout out, Paul David Tripp. To think today, when your life doesn't work as planned, that it's out of control, is to forget that Jesus reigns for your sake and his glory. What is it in your life today that you're facing that you wouldn't be facing if you were in total control? What are you required to deal with that you really wish you could avoid? Well, how about this question? Where have your plans dripped like sand through your fingers? Where would you like to take back choices and redo decisions? I could go on. He's got like about 7 other questions here. Where do you tend to look over the fence and wish you had someone else's life? The issue is control. And sometimes life seems completely chaotic and out of control. But in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 22, the Apostle Paul writes these words, "And he, God, put all things under his, Christ's feet, and gave him as head over all things to the church." There's another verse, and I think it's in the Living Translation or Living Bible, and it refers to God's sovereignty. And it refers to him as the blessed controller of all things. Now, then we say, but then why does this happen or that happen? Chaos is going to happen in the realm in which we live, because we live in a broken world. But somehow, God is able to work even through the brokenness, as Tripp said earlier, for your sake and for God's glory. So maybe you're not in one of these moments. You're not asking desperate questions like that. But you will be sometime soon. Or you're going to rub shoulders with somebody who is dealing with that kind of stuff today. Because life in a fallen world is often very, very difficult. And the world and everything in it are not functioning as God intended. And yet he can still work through it. Like even the execution of his own son, he turned that around into the greatest thing that's ever happened on planet Earth. Remember, he is the great, great storyteller. So, you feel like you don't have too much power, and you feel like you've been confronted with the fact that you don't have a whole lot of control, and you have no idea what might be lurking around the corner. It all kind of seems impossible and a little bit scary. But the good news is that while you don't have control, you know who ultimately does, and we can trust him. I don't know how people who don't know Jesus and don't know that he's the blessed controller of all things, I don't know what tomorrow holds. And I know it can sound trite, but I know who holds tomorrow. So I can live with that, and I can wake up with hope. I hope that you can have that kind of hope today. Whatever is out of control in your life, give it to Jesus. He's got this, and he wants to bring you through. And I'll say it one more time, that Jesus reigns for your sake and his glory. God bless you. Have a great week.